Hello everyone, I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now today I'm doing a Scrapping for Less design team project using this cute little stamp set. It's called Tan It and it's by Art Impressions. It's a fun interactive stamp set. It has everything included to make a real fun wobble card, I guess you could say. But it comes with all these little elements and I thought that was really neat. This stamp set's available over at Scrapping for Less and links will be listed below. But this gal is cute. She's on the larger side. This is a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch white piece of cardstock. So she's a pretty good size focal point. Along with her little rump is pretty good size too. But it comes with the die that will cut out her rump. And then also it comes with that little action wobble. So we're going to make a real fun card today. And we're just going to jump in. Now I'm going to take my mini Misty. Since she is on the larger side, this is going to help me get a nice crisp image. I just removed the backing off of the stamp here. Place that right on my cardstock. My cardstock is Nina Classic Crest Solar White. We're going to do some Copic coloring. So this is a Copic friendly cardstock. And then for the ink, I'm going to use again my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. It's also an alcohol marker friendly ink. We're just going to ink her up along with her little polka dotted rump. Lovely. Okay, she's good to go. Now I did leave the coloring in this time. I didn't leave the colors of the markers in the left, but I did leave the caps out. I thought the caps were close enough to where you guys could see. But my coloring is pretty basic. I'm going to play a little bit of music for you while I color. I did speed the coloring up to 8 times the normal speed, just because it does take me a little bit of time. But as soon as the music's done playing, I will catch you back. Okay, my coloring is just about done. I did have a little problem with her little rosy cheeks. So I thought, since she's wearing those big earrings, that she could have some super rosy cheeks. So I just went with it. But she looks so cute. Now I just fussy cut her out. Now the die that cuts out the rump did leave a little bit of a white border. So I didn't want that white border. So what I ended up doing was fussy cutting all the way to her line on the rump portion. And then I went around with my gel pen and added a little bit of white accent just to make her pop a little bit more. But there she is. Okay, now we're going to work on her background. Now I'm going to use 2 oval dies here. I wanted her to be kind of standing behind like a little kiddie pool. That was my theme, or my idea here. So my 2 oval dies I'm going to kind of place wonky. on a piece of white cardstock, and I'm just going to die cut those out. Now once that's done, I'm going to take the inside piece, the inside oval die that I used, and I am going to cut out a hole in my panel. Now my panel is 4 inches by 5 1/4, so it will leave me a little bit of a border on my card base. But there we have it. I'm just going to take my glue. Actually, we're going to do a little shading with my Distress Oxide inks. I wanted a blue background, so this is peacock feathers. And I'm just going to go around a piece of white cardstock. And then I'm also going to grab my faded jeans and add a little bit of two-tone background. I think this creates a real pretty pool color. And I'm going to go ahead and add some water. We're going to give this a little bit of texture. So just using my spray bottle, we're going to drop some pretty good sized water droplets on there. Just going to add a little bit more. And I think that's going to look great behind my little oval circle there. Okay, now I thought just to make this pool ring, I guess you could say, stand out a little bit more, I'm going to go around the edges with some Ice Spruce Distress Oxide ink. And on my black mat, you really can't see too much shading, but if I put it behind a piece of white cardstock, you'll really be able to tell the definition that it gives. Okay, now I'm going to place my panel right on top of my watery background here, and then I'm just going to trim off the excess. This is going to go just behind my panel. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to take my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and we're just going to go ahead and adhere my little pool ring. Now to give this a little bit more interest, I'm going to offset that oval that I die cut out. This way I have like a layered pool ring. We're just going to place that on there, and I think that's going to look really neat. Okay, now I'm just kind of positioning where I want my lady to go, and we're going to stamp the sentiment. Now the sentiment for this card is so cute. It says, if you can't tone it, tan it. Love that. I'm going to ink it up with my VersaFine ink. I'm going to just practice stamping on a piece of white cardstock first, just so I can get a real good impression. Now I got a real good impression, but I got it really crooked. And I knew that was going to bother me. So what I'm going to do is just do a redo. I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut out that ring. And then I'll recut out my panel and start all over basically again. Okay. That would have drove me crazy if I had a crooked sentiment. So before I adhere that down, I'm going to use my pencil and draw a line where my pool edge is going to go. And then I'm going to use my Misty for this. This is a safe way for me to stamp straight. So we're going to place the sentiment in there, pick it up, and then I'll use my, again, VersaFine ink. And first time's the charm, stamped beautifully. Okay, now we're ready to assemble the pool ring here. And again, I'll just use my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. I'm just erasing my pencil mark here. Okay. And again, I'll offset it just a bit to create like a few little rings. Lovely. Now I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to pop this up with some foam tape. And then before I remove the backing off my foam tape, I'm going to go ahead and add my my lady here. I'm just going to use my tape runner to adhere her to the left side of my panel. And I think she's going to look wonderful there. Now I'm going to flip this panel over again, and because she is going to have a wobbly rump, I need to make sure that her back side is very secure down to my card base. So I'm adding quite a bit of foam tape behind her as well. Now I just remove the backing, and then I'm going to place my distressed background right behind her. And using my tape runner, and we're going to adhere her to an A2 size card base. This is a top folding 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base. She's going to go right in the center. Okay, now all we have left to do is add a little bit of action. So I thought this wobble is a standard size, so I really didn't want it to show. So these are so easy to trim down. I'm just using my scissors to trim around it, and I'm never sure on what side goes up or what side goes down. But I'm going to take the thinner side of my wobble and place that on my card base. I'm going to trim it down a little bit more because I think it was still showing a bit. And then I'm going to press it really good, make sure it's secure. And then I'm just going to remove the backing off the top portion, and then I'm going to add my polka dotted rump here. And oh my goodness, she is so cute. Okay. Now, once we have that done, I'm going to add a little bit of bells and whistles. So I grabbed some, these are, my mind went blank, but they're little clear droplets. There we go. I was focusing on her rump. But I added a few here and there, and then to give the bathing suit and the pool a little bit of shimmer, I went in with my Nuvo Aqua Shimmer pen. And that finishes off my card today. I think this is a cute, and it's very flat. You can flatten it and then it'll mail beautifully. But this is my fun project today. I hope you enjoyed. Again, links will be below. I hope you have a fantastic day, guys. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.